Okay, obviously it was a big win for the program to go to San Antonio. You know, obviously the second time in the last few weeks to go get a big win on the road against a quality opponent. Really pleased with our start. All sides of the ball, you know, defense, offense, special teams, jumped on them early, had a big takeaway in the first possession from the defense. It got the offense the ball in good territory. They capitalized. I thought that was one of the things we did a really good job of was capitalizing on our opportunities. Knew the second half they were going to go in and make adjustments and come out fighting. Probably didn't play as well as we'd like to the second half, give them credit. We had a couple turnovers, which was uncharacteristic for us, but they made some good plays and just had to fight for our lives, you know, to finish that thing off. But that's kind of the world we're in our conference. There's not a lot separating all of us. But just really pleased with our guys finding a way to get the win and really just solidify our bowl eligibility and really just kind of keep the winning streak going. And, you know, here we are again this morning making corrections from that game and talking about our next opponent. Obviously, here we go on the road again to an SEC team, which is, you know, one of those things that our players look forward to playing this kind of quality opponent. And, you know, obviously they're going to be excited to play. And, you know, as the season winds down and, you know, we want to be playing our best football at this time. And I think we're playing well. Special teams, I was really pleased with our special teams. Saturday, I think they're getting better. And of course, we're going to have to be playing our best to go get a win. So. I think we've exponentially gotten better. You know, I think we have gotten an understanding of kind of what practice looks like, what the game looks like, the urgency. You know, and then we still have our moments when you just scratch your head, you know, when we don't lock up on a tackle or something. But that's why I keep saying we're still a work in progress. But we have gotten a lot better. We've gotten a lot better. I think probably as much as anything with the urgency. You know, that people are, you know, I have got coaches watch and say, wow, y'all are flying around, you know, just how hard you play. And that's kind of been, you know, the mark I would always want to see out of our defense and our team is, you know, we can't always control our talent level or all that, but we can control how hard we play and how important it is to us. And I think you're seeing that out of that defensive group.
On that run by Stern, but the touchdown run, in that instance, did you run around maybe too fast? It seemed like guys kind of overran it and were running a little.
Yeah, you know, and I think that happened to us a little bit on pass rush. I think sometimes a guy that's really trying to give great effort can almost overdo it. You know, you've got to come under control when you rush the passer. We had some times we were back there and just literally just ran by him. But we still had that same thing where one of our leaders tried to knock him down, you know, and it just, I know he was disappointed, we were disappointed. You know, it seems like there'll be another play that we point to of, okay, and this is why that's so important. And there was a couple guys on that play that weren't hustling like they should have been, thinking somebody else had him tackled. But that really wasn't the case. It wasn't as much of that. But I know I'm spending a lot of time on one play, but I think those are the plays that you don't know what the play is. And that's why we always talk about doing your job, great leverage, great angles, locking up. And I'll be pointing to that play for a while too.
You're talking about improvement, but how much does confidence play into that where it increases exponentially?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a big deal. I think, you know, I think there's a belief in what we do and how we do it, you know, what that process is of how we prepare for a game, you know, and I'm just a stickler for every play in practice counts. You know, we're trying to get out every ball, and if a guy catches a ball, I'm gonna get on him. And I think that was the thing we talked to. I even have to explain that to coaches sometimes because, you know, it seems like you're really being hard on a player, and I explain to them, you know, that's what the game looks like. So understand when we go out on the practice field, I am going to be upset if a guy catches a ball. I am going to be upset if you don't lock up and you know, all those things that directly carries over to the game. But I think then your practice becomes like the game, and that creates the confidence I think that you're talking about.
Which kind of brings us to this week where you guys have confidence, the opponent is struggling with it.
Right.
And I know as a competitor each year, a game like this, you go, hey, we want to win it.
Yep.
But even more so this year, there's that anxiousness where there is a reality that could actually happen.
Sure.
How do you keep your guys under control and going, hey, we can't get too anxious for this thing?
Sure. Well, I think to me, really, it's probably really good at this time of year. You know, you're bumped, you're bruised, you've been practicing all these weeks, and one of my coaches even asked, is this what our practice schedule looks like? I said, right, this is what it looks like. And I think that's one of the things I'm really proud of, that we keep practicing the same way. I think it's a smart way. I think we take care of them. But to talk about going down to play Florida, I remember we go back in 14, Mississippi State ends up #1 for 7 straight weeks. We didn't know it at the time, but it is the next game. It's a road game. I think there's some excitement in our guys just because, we got guys from the area. It's a well-known opponent, I think for me, what I'm excited about, it's something that's going to create them wanting to get better at practice, I hope, which I hope will in turn help them play better.
Will you guys do anything extra in practice to simulate the crowd noise?
Right. Now yeah, that's a good question. We did that last week, UTSA, their speaker system works very well. And I knew that, having played there before. So, you couldn't hardly hear yourself talk in between plays, really, almost even past the snap sometimes. But I think this will be another week to do that, where we use, we have a system that plays music or it can play crowd noise. And so I know those offensive guys got tired of hearing it because we played it the whole time. But, it helped us with all our hand signals and things. We have silent counts and things we have to do in a loud environment. So, yeah, we will.
Tell me how you holding up mentally.
Yeah.
How you holding up this point in the season? How you making it through?
Yeah, I just think we say it all the time. You're running on fumes at this time of year, and so is everybody else. And it's to that point we had a minute ago. What creates you want to work a little harder or keep going, or we've talked about the number of hours we spend each week, and there is a little light at the end of the tunnel. We're in these last few weeks and then go and get ready for a bowl game, but. It's a little easier to get up when you have those wins. It's a little easier to get up and go to work. We had our normal 6:45 meeting, and I think our guys probably thought we lost, the way I acted. And this is just how we do it, and we hadn't accomplished our goals. We've accomplished a lot of them, but, we hadn't accomplished all of them. So it's I think we're all tired, but so is everybody we play.
Going up against an SEC offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
how important is the way that your guys play up front?
Oh, it's huge. They're so talented up front, and we're going to have to play great on both sides of both fronts. And I think our guys have done a good job. I think just that level of play is kind of what we're aspiring to. To be consistent and understand just the physicality we're going to have to play with, and I think our guys are understanding that. Just the challenge we're going to face, and. It's not like they hadn't been in all these games. They've had a few where they probably didn't play as good as they want. They've gone through a ton of injuries, and I know what it's going to mean to them playing at home. I don't even know where they're playing Florida State. But this could be senior day. They're going to want to play well in front of their home fans and all those things. So we're going to get their very best. So that's what we got to be ready for.
You guys played well on the defensive front last week, but really Garrett Marino kind of stepped down. When he plays like that, how good are you guys defensively?
Well, he's been one of the players of the week 3 straight weeks. And, I think when he stepped into that starting role, it was almost like, okay, let's take it up another notch. This is the guy we recruited. He's playing like that. He's been dominant. So hopefully he continues to play like that. But he's practicing well, and he wasn't practicing bad. We've got a really good rotation going there with all those guys. But he's playing really well right now.
You talked about afterwards about trying to get a scoop and scored on that. What happened on that? I didn't get a really good look at it.
Yeah, I think he kind of got on the ball a little quicker. He started to scoop it. And I think he'd almost felt like he'd probably ran past it because it was such a bang thing, and probably if he'd done, he might have missed it, But we're always talking scoop and score, so that was something we were getting on him about it this morning. But great play by Thomas, Johnston getting the strip, and then that was huge in the game. So the main thing we wanted was the ball.
Thomas Johnston, speaking of him, obviously that's what he did during his high school career, making plays like
Yep.
that. Have you seen him progress a lot this year? And how much have you kind of, when you have a guy like that who makes every tackle in high school, you have to kind of remind them that they're not going to make every tackle in college and not
Mm-hmm.
sort of
I think he probably didn't know what our level was here. You know, I think he probably, you know, you don't know. And I think when he got here, he realized pretty quickly, you know, that he was one of many guys that can play. And also what's the offensive lines look like. Had a little bit of an injury, set him back a little bit. And, you know, we said that last week that looks like the guy. And he got a lot better last week. Now he's starting to feel comfortable. And like I think the whole defense is doing is progressing every week. But he played really well.
You talked there about the defensive guys flying around, and I think probably Broderick Thomas, that's probably the guy.
Yep.
Think about it. Did you see him being the kind of player he is? And when you have a big physical guy like that,
yep.
in safety, how much does that help too?
Well, you know, what we like to do is really get physical corners, and, you know, because they can cover, they can run. I think Broderick has really gotten, you know, we do a lot in the secondary, and, you know, we press cover, we play zone, and I have to remind myself, it seems like every year, you know, when I go back to Jack State, when I talk about our 14, about midway through the year, it's almost like that light bulb comes on for them where they go, okay, now I see, because I don't say we're really hard on them, but we're tough on them because I want them to take that to the game. But I think now you're seeing us hopefully, you know, be able to go back and forth in coverages and do some different things. And, you know, we knew Broderick had him in it. One, it's real important to him. He really cares. He's a really good young man, you know, but he cares about playing well and doing well. Obviously, that was in front of the home folks, so that probably had a little extra oomph. But to see the physical side of him come out is really exciting. I saw that. Yeah, that's what I told him this morning. There was no need for us to put it on the highlights because he put it everywhere on Twitter. So I said, you know, how many times did you repost that? But that was a pretty good play, and I think when he hit that guy, that guy's foot was still in bounds. But that's for another discussion.
You were talking about the confidence level of this defense coming up and that kind of light bulb going off in the middle of the season. Do you think that's contributed to the amount of takeaways y'all can get in the 4 or 5 games?
I think so. You know, I think if you look at that what was it, third play of the game, you know, when Will Bright pressured the quarterback and he threw it up, I mean, I think that was huge. I think some of those plays are effort plays. You know, the reverse where we got 3 guys there, we take a bad angle, but we're hustling. You know, it may not have been on the reverse. It was another run when we got that ball, but it was a hustle play. You know, and I think the effort, how we tackle, you know, the pressure, all those things contribute to takeaways. You know, it's not something you can draw up, but I think all that goes together to create those takeaways. Pressure and how we tackle and all those things go into it, you know, to help create takeaways.
Coach, I know that UAB is your main focus, but you like football, so you're aware of a lot of things at the college level, especially in this state where a lot of programs are doing quite well.
Mm-hmm.
Yours included Jack State, where they're ranked in the top
Yep.
10 and stuff like that. I know that you got to have X's and O's, but how much does it that I know there's pressure from fan bases, but is that a motivation with the fans and how much passionate they are about the game that propels programs like UAB and others to want to try and bring out the best?
Yeah, correct. You know, I think from growing up in this state where football is very important, and you know, I think that's kind of the mindset of the people of this state. I think of the kids that grow up here. You know, just how hard they play. You know, how much they care, and I think sometimes, you know, there may be some guys from other areas physically that are better. But I think just the heart and the passion, and I think that bleeds off into our guys that come from other areas. You know, of course, Texas high school football is great, and there's great football across the country, but I think when they get in here and see the passion that our people, our fans have for the game and for them, and I mean, it's going to make you play better. And I think that goes back to that whole mindset we have of playing for more than yourself, which is when it really gets fun. You know, when you really feel like you're playing for the people around you, the people in your community, the team. And that's what I've seen out of this group, and that's what makes it fun. And, you know, that's those special locker rooms and those type things when they're really playing for more than just the individual.
On a personal note, I believe that the deal, that the agreement is finally voted on today by the trustees and stuff like that. It's been a couple of weeks. Just talk about where you've heard from the fan base and saying this they're happy because they're getting their guy for a little bit longer, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, you know, I think when we talked about, you know, I've mentioned it earlier, the commitment to be here. You know, we needed to show the recruits, you know, that we're here, we want to be here, that this is sustained. For me, it was not about being the top paid guy in the conference, even though it's nice to get a pay raise, and I've got to do the same thing for my assistants. But I think to show recruits that this thing is for real, this is where we're headed, we're going to do it the right way. Our goal all along has been to be the top of a very good conference. So that doesn't mean having the goal makes you the top. It just means that's what we're trying to get to. But I think every recruit was amazing that week. Coach, that's what we were looking for. That's what we wanted to hear about. And along with our fans who are just, I think we got the best fans in the country. So, it's to do the things they've done, to care as much as they care and really be involved. And, of course, I'm involved in the social media part of it, just from recruiting and getting our message out. And just, what a good job they've done for us to be where we are. So I think hopefully that's a win for everybody, and it shows a commitment from our university, shows a commitment from us.
Initiates a lot of hits and takes
Right.
hits. And how many times during the game do he takes a hit or ducks his shoulder where you start thinking like either, boy, I don't know if they get up, or boy, I wish you quit doing that?
Both. I think he is, I call it's the Earl Campbell syndrome, where you get up super, super slow and they're always fine, but it worries you, it worries you. And that's that zone read, quarterback run, releasing, and we try and protect him, but it's just going to happen, that the guy's going to take some shots, and of course we got guys that are ready to go in if we need them, but he won't come out and practice to even let somebody else get reps if you leave it up to him. So he's a tough guy. One, obviously bruised is different than hurt, so we always want to make sure we know the difference. But you want to avoid as many of those hits as you can, no doubt.
Anything else?
Exactly.
We had some guys kind of banged up a little bit Saturday. What's kind of overall health of the team?
I think we're pretty good. I think, to be this time of year, I think we're pretty good. And I think there was some guys, there at the end we're trying to be precautionary with and make sure, and we always lean on the side of safety first. But I think for most of our guys, we should have everybody back. Just, got to do a little healing. Good? Okay. Thank you, guys.